Kieron McRae is from Carrick Wealth, and if you know anything about the fires that have been going on in the Western Cape over the past, 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
You'll know that there has been absolute devastation. And we thought it might be nice to catch up with you, Kieron, because first of all, you've been, no pun intended at all, in the line of fire. You've certainly seen what's been happening in Cape Town. How bad is it?
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic over the last couple of days. Obviously, a lot of attention and a lot of resources and all the rest of it been put towards fighting the fires. Yeah, a lot of help and great to see Cape Townians coming out in their numbers and really supporting them and doing their bit. I guess it's affected different people in different ways, but yeah, I think everybody in the Western Cape has been very touched by what's been going on over the last couple of days.
Kieron, you're being very humble because we know that Carrick Wealth has a CSI initiative and program that goes beyond just straight CSI. It's called Signature of Hope. And you've done something very specific with regard to these fires. Tell us about that.
Yeah, thanks, Astrid. You know, obviously there were a huge amount of donations that were given in terms of groceries and all of that, and that continued. But the guys also started saying, well, we need to raise some money to pay all of these volunteers who are working on the fires. So what we decided to do as Signature of Hope is to donate 25,000 Rand to VWS, the Volunteer Wildfire Services. We actually did that at 7 o'clock yesterday morning before the radiothon started. And I think we helped start that avalanche that ended up raising 3.1 million Rand yesterday. So yeah, ours was the first donation in, I think, at 25 grand at 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday morning.
So I think that deserves an opportunity to tell us a little bit more about what Carrick Wealth is. You're a new kid on the block, in inverted commas, in terms of personal finance, investments. Tell us a little bit about Carrick Wealth.
Yeah, we are relative new kids on the block. Carrick Wealth specializes in offshore wealth management, in particular assisting clients with the transfer of frozen UK pensions, which is a large part of our business. You know, we have a lot of UK expats in South Africa, as well as South Africans who worked in the UK. And the reality of that is that a lot of them left, when they left the UK, they left their pensions behind. And there are various challenges with UK pensions, not to mention huge deficits. And what we do is we specialize in transferring those, or assisting our clients with transferring those into jurisdictions out of the UK, but that still allows them to keep them in hard currency.
When you say relative new kids on the block, I know you're alluding to the fact that, of course, Carrick Wealth has been founded and established by a team of people who have actually been looking after people's money for many, many years. Tell us a little bit about that team.
Yeah, you know, we collectively as a leadership team have been in the industry for over 50 years, and over the past 8 years here in Africa, we're responsible for raising and managing over £1 billion in assets. And have huge experience right across the continent. So you've been at it for quite a while, under the Carrick barrier, kind of the last 8 months.
Kieron, 2 more questions. The first one is in terms of where we can find you on the interwebs and the internets. Where can we point our browser to go and find out more about what Carrick Wealth does?
The easiest is www.carrick-wealth.com, which is our website, which has a whole bunch of information, and it has the various contact details of our offices in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, as well as Harare.
Okay, cool. And final question, just from a humanitarian point of view. I believe that the Cape Townians have pulled together like never before. You know, we always joke about Cape Townians being cliquey and loving their own little groups, but from what I understand, this has just been a true test of everyone's kind of pulling together and being one to support everyone else in this situation.
Absolutely. You know, I think there's there's nothing like a cause that affects everybody to pull everybody together. And unfortunately, I guess in some senses, it's normally a disaster that does it. I think if we could apply that same kind of thinking to things that are not necessarily disaster related, and apply that same kind of thinking, we'd be a much better country to live in.
I guess one of the reasons why Signature of Hope made the donation is because your own managing director had to leave work early for risk of his property being affected.
Absolutely. In fact, a number of our staff were affected and were in the line of fire. So, they left early, and fortunately no harm done in their cases, but our thoughts were the people who did lose property and valuables in the fires.
Kieron, thank you so much for being with us on The Business this evening, and we really hope that those fires die down in the next couple of hours and that things get back to normal very soon.
That's Kieron McRae, Carrick Wealth.